I think the way to think about this is through the ogre of our stories. Remember, I was saying in my last video that the ogre presents something that we want. And then later on, you discover that the ogre is not one of you. But you discover it not because the ogre reveals it openly. In the story I told, the ogre was detected because they were eating flies with mouths at the back of their heads. So they were otherwise handsome, dancing very well, but it's only when people noticed that they were eating flies that they said, these are not normal people. So even whenever we are told about anything social, be very suspicious. You cannot have a social healthcare policy when there is a means for people to escape the system if they have money to pay. And then the politicians are not going to be using public services because they have health insurance that allows them to seek treatment abroad. A real socialist healthcare policy, it's the government that uses the budget. So it budgets for the healthcare policy, and people don't pay anything either as insurance or when they go to the hospital. And everybody, including the politicians, uses that healthcare policy. And the reason why I knew that this cannot be a social care policy, because it sounds so much like what the Americans have. In fact, I'm starting to suspect that they have a big hand in this so-called UHC. And America has an interest in promoting this kind of pseudo-social healthcare policy because in America, just check the electoral politics. Americans are complaining about their healthcare. And so America needs to standardize its own healthcare madness. So now it sells it to Kenya, and now this is the so-called social policy that Kenya is going to be used as the guinea pig to sell American-type healthcare to the rest of Africa. So we need to decide whether these things matter to us or whether they're irrelevant to the market. And then finally, Kenyans, we need to read. History matters. The people who are coming up with these ideas are reading. They are promoting ideas. Why is it that us Kenyans, we don't want to deal with ideas? We have to read. And I'm suggesting for those of you who haven't done it, you can start by reading How Europe Underdeveloped Africa, which is a book by Walter Rodney. It's worth the time. Form book clubs. Look for videos that explain the book. There's also audiobooks. I mean, with internet, we no longer have the excuse for avoiding ideas. So let's learn. And that I think of saying ideas don't bring food on the table, that's a very racist narrative. It's basically saying we Africans don't think. Do you believe that? That Africans don't have the capacity to think? Why are they fighting against us thinking? If we are so incapable of thinking, what's the fear then? So you just let us read and waste our time reading. But reading is not a waste of time. Let's read so that we can see through these tactics, but most of all, so that we can come up with a single narrative or theory that can explain what we are fighting for. Right now, we are just reacting to bad governance. But bad governance is not enough to set up a new society. We have to start imagining that society. We have to start understanding what is wrong with the current one so that we can project and imagine a better future where, in my view, we should have a healthcare system where we don't have to pay insurance, and yet the government provides excellent healthcare to everybody, regardless where they come from. We cannot fight without ideas. I saw somebody saying that Mau Mau didn't have any ideas. That's utter nonsense. They did. They even wrote those ideas. They were very clear in what they were fighting for. And what is this nonsense we say about ourselves? It's terrible. So we need ideas because, as Amil Cabral said, the Cape Verdean revolutionary, he said that while not every theory leads to a revolution, there can be no revolution without a revolutionary theory. So we need a theory. Let's read, let's think, and not be ashamed to do so. because those who are reading and thinking myopic ideas are the ones running the government. So we have to hit back also in the realm of ideas. A luta continua.